episode 14 of the Noble Character Crafts podcast. My name is Amy, and you can find me online on Instagram and Etsy at Noble Character Crafts. You can find me on Ravelry at Noble Character, and I also have a group for this podcast on Ravelry under Noble Character Crafts Podcast. In that group, you'll find show notes for this episode and previous episodes, as well as several threads for introductions and there's an Ask Me Anything thread. There is also a thread in that group for the current make-along that is going on. Today is Friday, February 2nd, 2018, and I am coming to you from eastern Nebraska, where I live on a farm with my husband and our 5 children. This is a podcast all about my life as a knitter, a crocheter, and a hand dyer of yarn. Thank you so much for joining me. A huge welcome to any new and returning viewers. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. So yesterday kicked off the start of the current make-along that I am hosting. It is called the I Think I Can Make-Along. And it is for any project that you would like to try your hand at that you have never tried before, any skill or craft that you've never tried that you've been a little intimidated by. This is your chance to give that a try. So this make-along is going to be running, it started yesterday, February 1st, and it is running until the end of April 30th. And so it is for example, I am going to be trying my hand at brioche and steeking. So any craft is welcome. For example, if you've never crocheted before, pick it up and try something. If you've never knitted before, try that. Or a particular skill, like you've never done Tunisian crochet, or you've never done any color work, or never knitted socks, or something specific like that that you've been putting off and you would really like to try your hand at. That is what this make-along is all about. I had someone ask me if it was okay to include teaching their child how to do a skill, because that was intimidating for them to try to teach their child. And of course, anything like that would be awesome. So that's why I'm calling it a make-along. I want it to be all-inclusive of any craft that you may be intimidated by. I have started a chatter thread for this make-along in the Ravelry group, so please go over there and comment about what project you would like to try. Insert pictures of what the progress that you're making. If you have any encouragement or advice to give to others that are trying something new, please feel free to join in on the conversation to help one another out. I would just really love to have as many of you as possible joining in on this make-along. Again, if there are any makers out there that would like to donate prizes for this make-along, I am always willing to accept prizes for that. You can certainly get in contact with me through Instagram, Ravelry, or you can reach me through my email, which is noblecharactercrafts@yahoo.com. The cable knit-along that I was co-hosting with Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady podcast ended yesterday, and I have closed the finished object thread for that knit-along and have picked numbers through random number generator for the prizes for that knit-along. Stay tuned and I'll be announcing those a little later on. Today I am wearing my Southbound Train shawl, which is a pattern by Amber Crawley of Maker's Haven. And I test knitted this for her. She hasn't come out with the pattern yet, I don't believe, but I think she's working on it. So stay tuned if you would. I'll be sure to announce that when I do know that she has released the pattern. But I love this shawl and I wear it quite often because it goes with so many different outfits in my wardrobe. My first finished object for today is my Prongs Antler socks. I am so pleased with these. So this was a test knit that I did for Nicole of Woolfield, and this is just such a gorgeous cabled pattern going down the front of the sock, and I am just so happy with these. I love how long they are, and I really think I'm going to enjoy wearing these. So I made these using my own hand-dyed yarn on my pitter patter base, which is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and this is in my Tranquil colorway. And I cast on 66 stitches to start with and did a 2x1 ribbing for 20 rows. and then went down, you decrease in the pattern to 64 stitches for the medium size, which is what I made. And I worked 14 repeats of the cable for the leg. The heel is an Eye of Partridge heel, which I love so much. And I did the pattern has a rounded toe. I believe it would be considered a rounded toe. And Kitchener at the toe. This stitch marker here shows where I was last time I podcasted. This is the second of the 2 socks, so I was able to finish that. And I'm so pleased with them. These were made on 1.5 needles, which are 2.5 millimeter. And I am just so happy with these. These will definitely be an awesome addition to my small sock collection. I don't have a ton stored up yet, but I'm so happy to have those. Okay, I have another finished object this week, which is this hat that I made for my mom. It's funny, isn't it? Okay, so my mom, a while back, I had made a scarf for my mom using this Bernat Mix Home yarn that she found at Michael's and really loved, and she had asked me to make a scarf out of it, so I did. I showed that in a previous episode. And then she decided that she wanted a hat to coordinate with her scarf, and so she mailed this to me and asked me to make her a hat. So I did. She wanted a slouchy hat, and she, in the picture that she had drawn for me, here it is, she had drawn me this picture of what she wanted the hat to look like. And on the top there, I thought that looked like a tassel instead of a pom-pom. And so I sent that to her. I said, you want a tassel on top of it instead? Because on the scarf, I had put tassels on the ends of the scarf. And so I thought that's what she wanted on the top. And she was like, oh no, I meant for it to be a pom-pom. But you know, that's a good idea, she said. I like that idea, that'd be cute. So I did put a tassel on the top. She said, make it smaller, which it is a little smaller than the ones I had put on the scarf. And actually, when it lays like that, it really looks like a pom-pom. Anyway, it's kind of cute. Okay, so this is super bulky, I believe. Yeah, super bulky weight yarn. It is 60% acrylic, 18% cotton, 13% nylon, 7% wool, and 2% polyester. And it is in the London Fog colorway. And it is made up of these 4 different types of yarn. So there's this wool blend, light gray. There's a type of a rope yarn that's variegated. This is a softer yarn. I don't know what it would be called, but it has these little eyelash pieces in it. And this one is so hard to work with. That texture of that yarn is just so difficult, almost impossible to knit. And so I crocheted with it, but it's even very difficult to crochet with. Okay, so the pattern that I used is my own pattern that I have a few patterns, crochet patterns on my Etsy shop. And so this is my slouchy hat pattern. And the pattern is written to use super bulky yarn or worsted weight yarn. It has adjustments for both. So it's a very simple pattern though. You start here at the rib and work the ribbing like in a long line, and then you join in the round. You join it together, and then you start working in the round. The body of the hat is made using triple crochet stitches, so it's quite, it's got quite a bit of drape to it, and it's not super tight. There's it's loosely crocheted. So anyway, then you just work. You don't decrease at all. You just work tube basically, and then when you've got it to the length that you want it, then you just use a tail of yarn to cinch up the top of the hat. I made the tassel just by wrapping it around a small book, and I think I went around like 50 times around a small book, and yeah, just tied string here and tied string at the top to attach it to the hat. I'll try it on for you so you can see. This one's kind of cute. The slouch to it. Hopefully Mom will like it. I think she will. cute. Oh, I used a size N crochet hook, which is 9mm. And it was a super fast knit, of course, or crochet project, of course, because of the super bulky, and crochet is so fast for me, especially because I've been crocheting for, I don't know, maybe 19 years now. I don't know, 18 or 19 years, quite a long time. So anyway, glad to get this done for her, and I will get this in the mail to her right away. Okay, I want to show a new thing that I got in the mail that I am so extremely happy with. I did a swap with Mary Ann, who is known as Rock Islander on both Instagram, and she has a podcast, which you should definitely check out if you haven't yet. She lives in Bermuda with her family, and she knits and is also an amazing sewist. And she had sent me a message about the owl gloves that I have in my Etsy shop, commenting that she really liked those. And so I suggested maybe we could do a swap where, because she makes beautiful project bags that I have seen, and I wondered if maybe she would be willing to do a swap with me, and she said she would. So she was so kind to ask me what kind of colors I liked and what theme I wanted for my project bag, and I had let her know that I really liked woodland themed things, and she even sent me, like, she got together all these different color schemes and sent them to me and asked which color scheme I would liked best. I mean, it was just so sweet. The time and thought that she put into it was so, it made me feel so special. And I just can't believe this bag. It is so amazing. I love it so much. Oh my goodness. The time that she put into this, I can't even imagine. I could never make anything like this. And I'm just so appreciative of the hard work that went into this. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, I love it so much. Look at, she embroidered a little owl right there. Oh my goodness, I love this fabric here. That's so pretty. And it's on this side too. And then she's also embroidered on this one. See the little French knots, I think those are? Oh, they're so cute. Look at that deer too, I love it. There's a little bunny pull on there. Oh, it's so sweet, I love it. I love everything about it so much. So special. It is going to be my favorite bag ever, I think. Ever. On the inside, there's this beautiful leaf pattern. So pretty, and it's full, chock full of wonderful, special things. So amazing. Okay, so inside, she sent me a couple of mini skeins. The first one is from Sheepwrecked in Bermuda, which is a hand dyer that is in Bermuda, obviously. And this colorway is called Clear Water. So pretty. And this is on a MCN base. 80% merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon. So beautiful. That color looks just like the water that you see in some pictures of Bermuda. So beautiful. And she also sent me some minis from Maker's Haven, Amber of Maker's Haven, from her advent calendar that she had received. Look at those gorgeous colors. I love them. It doesn't, there's no note about, you know, the names of these, but they are so pretty. I love them. Okay, and then she sent me a set of Chaogu needles, which, you know, if you've watched before, I only use Chaogu needles, but I have never used their bamboo needles before, so I'm excited to try these out. These are US 4s, 32-inch bamboo. So I'm excited to give those a try. And oh, she sent me these adorable stitch markers. So here's a fox. There's pretty little purple beads on them. There's an owl. Can you see it? So cute. Here, the letter A, and a pine cone, and a deer. Oh, they're so sweet. I love them. Ah, so many goodies. Okay, some yummy chocolates that I have been dying to try. And now I will get to. They're even shells, which is so appropriate. Coming from Bermuda. A postcard. So pretty. And then, oh, I was so excited about this. Marianne had recently posted in her stories on Instagram a map of where Bermuda is. And I didn't know, which I think is why she posted it, because I think so many people think it's down in the Caribbean more, but it's way out east in the ocean. Anyway, so I started researching it a little bit, and they're known for their pink sands beaches. And so I was just, looking with the kids at the pictures online of the pink sand and the blue water and how pretty that is. And I was so excited. She sent me a little bag of pink sand from Horseshoe Bay Beach. And then also there's shells in here from around the island. It's so neat. I don't know if you can really see the pink tone to it. Probably not. But if you look closely, there is just like little tiny bits of pink in there. It's so neat. There's a bit of sea glass in here. See that? Oh, it's so pretty. I think this is just so special that she took the time to do this. Send something special from the island. So sweet. And then she also sent me a pack of David's tea, which I have never tried David's tea yet. And this is the Honey Crisp Apple flavor, and I'm so excited to try that. And then she sent me a sweet little card with an owl on it. And also some Burt's Bees coconut foot cream and lip balm. Marianne, I cannot tell you thank you enough. I am just so thrilled with this swap. This is the first time I've ever done a swap. And it was just such a wonderful experience. I just have loved every single thing you sent me so much. I am so touched by the detail that you put into this this package for me, and I just love everything so very much. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I wanted to show you all this right away because I need to use this. My first whip that I want to show you is homeless right now because I didn't have a big enough project bag that, well, I have some big ones that I have a big one that I made myself, but I am no sewist. And so I didn't really want to use it because my next whip is my favorite and it needs a special home. So it's going to be going in this project bag. And it is my Lily cardigan. So here it is. This is a pattern by Amy, Amy Self-Lindland of Amy's Little Kingdom. She has a podcast that is wonderful, based out of Norway. And she is currently hosting a knit-along for this pattern, which is called the Lily Cardigan Cal. And this little stitch marker from Amanda of Little Bitty Delights is marking where I was last time I podcasted. So that is showing you how much progress I made. Quite a few inches, 3 or 4 inches maybe. 3 inches, not too bad. It's coming along, so I'm just working in, down through the body. There's no shaping right now. It's just knitting until I get it to the length that I want it. Here it is on the front. There are cables that are running down the sides, the front. So I'm so pleased with this. Like I said, it's my favorite whip right now. I'm just so loving it. I'm so excited to have this in my wardrobe, but I'm also enjoying every stitch of the process of making it. So I am using Knit Picks palette on the Aurora Heather colorway. which I love. It's a fingering weight, 100% Peruvian Highland wool. And I am using size 6 needles, which are 4mm, I believe. Yes. And yeah, I am just completely in love with this project. It is such a pleasure to work on. And now it's going to have a beautiful project bag to go in, which I'm so pleased with. Won't this look nice in here? You know, coordinating. Yay, and it fits. This bag is so nice and roomy. So wonderful. Yay, I'm so happy to have that together. All right, my next work in progress is in my Noble Character Crafts project bag. These bags I send along with any yarn orders from my Etsy shop. And in here is the Time Trades shawl by Caitlin Hunter that I am knitting for my very good friend. And here it is. It's so pretty. I love it. This stitch marker here is marking where I was last time, so I didn't work on this too much, but every little bit helps. I am using my own hand-dyed yarn for this project on my Radiant base, which is a 70% superwash merino, 30% silk blend. And the colors I am using are, the light speckled color is called Sweetness. And then this darker speckled is called Abundance. Then you work down here to this gradient set, which the lightest pink here is called Tranquil, like I made with my socks. Oops. Then you move into Satisfied, Steadfast, Honor, and the black is called Night. So again, I'm just really, really loving working on this. I'm loving the way that it's working out. It's so pretty. It's such a beautiful pattern. Love it. This is also on size 6 needles, 4mm. So happy to work on this as well. Loving it. My next whip is in my Allison Barnes collection project bag. And it is my Doodler, the Doodler shawl by Stephen West. And here it is. I am making this along with Christy Glass's Knit Along. She is hosting she's calling it the Sunday Doodler Cal, because this is intended to, she is only working on it with her daughter on Sundays, and that is what I am doing as well. I am only working on this on Sundays. So this cute little pumpkin pie progress keeper that matches so well, also from Amanda of Little Bitty Delights, is marking where I was last week. And I was able to get 3 wedges done on Sunday, so I'm really happy with that. Do you see that stitch marker right there though? I have a dropped stitch. Well, actually it's a dropped knit 2 together stitch. And I have no idea how I managed to do that. I'm also quite shocked that it didn't drop down further, because I was like, I was quite a ways away from that dropped stitch before I saw it. And then I was like, oh my word, and I quick caught it with that stitch marker, but I don't know, I guess this yarn just is, holds, you know, is not slippery enough to slip out of there, thankfully. And anyway, I'm not really sure how I'll fix that. I'm just gonna, you know, stitch it in there somehow. But anyway, I was kind of disappointed by that, but it'll be all right. Nobody will ever notice. I also saw a mistake that I have down here. There's an extra little eyelet right there that's not supposed to be there, which I'll probably stitch that up too, because otherwise it will drive me crazy. I probably could leave it and no one would ever notice it, but it would drive me crazy, I think. So I'll probably stitch that up too. Anyway, I am using, again, my own hand-dyed yarn on my Radiant base. And the two colors I'm using are my Embrace colorway and my Enriched colorway. And then the border will be made using my Honor colorway, again, which is that deep purple that is in my other shawl. But I'm really happy with this. It is such a beautiful design. I just love the edging of it and the way that it's working up. It's so pretty. Love it. This is on size 4 needles, which are 3.5 millimeter. Okay, I have not, surprisingly, barely touched my scrappy socks that I am making along with Bethany of the Woolberry Fiber Company. She is hosting a Woolberry scrap-along for people to make scrappy socks, and I do have a pair of scrappy socks on the go, but I just took them with me to I had a chiropractic appointment yesterday, and I took them with me, and I was able to knit 1 row. That's it. That's the only progress I've made on those, so I'm not going to show them this week. But I think now that I've finished my other socks, I'll probably work on those quite a bit more, I assume. But I have started a new project. This is in my Creative Frenzies project bag. And this is for the I Think I Can make-along. As I mentioned, I am wanting to try brioche. So I've started. I started it yesterday, and I am so excited. I am making the Reversible Flaming Beanie, which is by Lady in Yarn, I believe, is the, I'll just show this, picture of it. This is a paid for pattern on Ravelry. I wonder if I can show you one more picture. Yeah, here's one. Because like it says, it's reversible, of course. Brioche, I think, always is. So I really like when you can see more of the lighter color. I just think it just shows up a little bit more. And I have started it. Yay, I'm so excited about it. It's really not so hard, brioche. Oh, that's actually the inside that I showed you, because that's where you can see the lighter color a little bit better. Here is the, oh, now I'm all tangled. Okay, there. So this is the right side actually. But the brioche stitch, it's not so hard. It's just yarn overs and slip stitches and knits and purls and knit 2 together, purl 2 together. It's just a combination of all that. So it's not so hard. There's nothing to be scared of. What was I worried about? I am using my new base, which is my non-superwash base. It is called Caring. The base name is called Caring. And it's a worsted weight, 100% non-superwash merino. And I'm loving working with it. I'm using my Deep Waters colorway and my Sings colorway. And I think they're working up so beautifully together. I'm really liking them, but I love this side much better. So pretty. I am using, okay, so you start, the pattern calls for different needles. The pattern calls for you to use 2.5, US 2.5, which are 3 millimeter needles, and I don't have a set of those. But that was okay because she said that she knits very loosely. Yeah, she says, I knit loosely, so you may need to use a different needle size to obtain gauge. And I don't knit terribly loosely. I knit more on the tight side, but usually I get pretty good gauge with what is recommended in a pattern. So I just went up to a size 3 needle for the brim, which is 3.25, I believe, millimeter. And so it's just a 1x1 rib for not quite 2 inches. I think it was 4.5 centimeters or 1.8 inches. So I use size 3 for that, and I've been able to try it on. It fits very nicely. And then you go up to, she calls for you to go up to a size 4 needle, which is a 3.5 millimeter, but I went up I went up to a 5 because, you know, same reason. I don't knit as loosely probably as she does. So I think it's working out pretty well. Seems to look good to me anyway. So anyway, I'm just really loving this. So much fun. So exciting to try my hand at brioche, and it's going well. I'm nervous about making a mistake because I've heard it's really hard to fix mistakes in brioche, and I probably should put it in a lifeline or something in case I do make a mistake. But I haven't yet. But anyway, it's going well, and I'm hoping that it will work up pretty quickly since it's worsted weight. And yeah, I'm just so excited to be trying this. And I'm hoping that once the pattern works into the design that it won't be too hard. I'm not good at reading ahead with patterns, so I haven't looked ahead. I'm just doing one step at a time. So anyway, I'm really enjoying it. It's going well. So those are all of my works in progress right now. I do have a couple of scrappy Afghans that are in the making, but I haven't made a ton of progress in those since I showed you last, so I'll save those until I've made a little bit more progress on them. Okay, I'm going to announce the winners for the cable cowl now. So the first prize is this lovely book by Nora Gahn, Knitted Cable Source Book. It is full of beautiful patterns and techniques for making cables and designing your own cables and how to substitute cables. It is such a wonderful book. And also along with this prize is going to be a copy of the Lily Cardigan pattern by Amy Self-Lindland. Thank you so much again, Amy, for donating that prize. And the winner of this prize is Anna Onion Girl on Ravelry. Congratulations. She made a cable lines hat that was absolutely beautiful. So congratulations. The next prize is going to be a skein of 100% alpaca yarn from Rolling Wood Alpaca Farm. It is a DK weight, 291 yards, and this is a natural brown. It is not dyed, it's just straight from the animal. Also along with this prize is going to be these beautiful stitch markers from Amanda of Little Bitty Delights. So cute. I love those. And you will also receive a cable needle necklace from Leslie Wind. And the winner of this prize pack is Ruthie Nomi on Ravelry, and she made a pair of Lammle fingerless mitts, which are also so beautiful. I love the blue color that she used for these. Congratulations. And the last prize is this cute project bag from Quilt Knit Craft. She has an Etsy shop, and there's these funny farm animals doing yoga. It's funny. Has a horse project or pole on it. And inside, Kathy from Quilt Knit Craft sent a little sample skein. It doesn't say what it is. But it's a great color. And you will also be receiving this gorgeous needle gauge, which is from Ashley of the Blackberry Ridge. So beautiful, and it smells amazing. So pretty. And then you will also receive a bar of Tuft Woolens sock soap in the Spiced Pear Cider scent. So this is got an animal theme, see? All of those have animals on them. Anyway, the winner of this prize is Cheryl Lee on Ravelry, and she made a pair of owl socks. which are so adorable. So congratulations, you three. If you would please get in contact with me through Ravelry, I will be happy to get these in the mail to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much to everybody that joined in on this knit along. This was my first knit along that I have hosted, and it was such a joy to be able to see all of your projects and to have so many of you joining in on that knit along. Thank you so much to everybody who entered, and congratulations to those that won. Thank you so much to all of the makers that donated a prize for the knit along. I really appreciate you being willing to donate those beautiful prizes. Thank you, ladies. I did want to also announce that I have included another new base in my shop, which is also non-superwash, and this is on a fingering weight. So this is also in my Deep Waters colorway. I'm going to be using this for another project coming up soon. And this is 100% non-superwash merino wool. So I am just so excited to have a couple of non-superwash options in my shop. And I have been able to update my Etsy shop to include all of my repeatable colorways, having, you know, all of the options for now my 8 different bases. And so if you don't know, all of my colorways, I think I only actually have one colorway that is non-repeatable listed in my shop right now. So all of my other colorways are repeatable, and I have them listed available in my shop on all 8 of my bases. So I now have 4 fingering weight bases. This non-superwash one, which is called Gentle, by the way. The base, this new base is called Gentle. And then I have my Pitter Patter base, which is the 75-25 blend. I have my Twinkle Toes base, which is the Gold Stellina blend. And I have the Radiant base, which is the silk blend that you've seen in a couple of my projects. Then I have a sport weight, which is called Margaret, and that is a superwash merino wool nylon blend. I also have a DK weight, which is called Josephine, and that is also a superwash merino nylon blend. And then I have my Lenora base, which is 100% superwash merino. And then my other new non-superwash base, which is called Caring, which is 100% non-superwash merino wool. So I have all of those bases available in my shop on almost all of my colorways at any time. So feel free to check out my Etsy shop if you would be interested in that. I so appreciate any purchases from my shop. It just is so much fun to dye up yarn for any of you, and to especially see any projects that are made using my yarn. It just is so much fun to see what you all make with the yarn that I dye. It's so fun to see the process go from start to finish with my yarn and how it works out into a project. So I really appreciate any purchases from my shop. So every week I try to show you a set of 3 skeins of yarn from my shop that I think would make a nice shawl kit. So I think I'm getting ready for spring, because the set I pulled today has quite a bit of a spring theme to it. This is just so like, when I look at these colors, it's just like, oh, I want sunshine. I just thought these looked like spring colors and refreshing colors. And anyway, I just really thought those were like just a breath of fresh air together. So these are all on my Pitter Patter base. And this light turquoise is called Reflex. This one is called Light of Dawn, which I love. It was one of the first colorways I dyed up, but I was inspired by the sunrise in the morning. So it has these really light pinks going into the yellow, and then the light blue with speckles of gold in there. And this golden color is called Honeycomb. So I just thought those looked really nice together. And I thought we could all use a glimpse of spring. February and March are like the hardest, aren't they? I think they are anyway, because especially when it like starts to warm up, but it's not quite warm enough, and it's like, oh, I just kind of want to go outside, but oh my goodness, it's still too cold. I think those are the hardest months. Although we're supposed to be getting snow this weekend, and we still haven't, in my mind, gotten a really good snowstorm. And I would really be happy with getting a good, few inches of snow. So we'll see. It did snow just a tiny bit this morning, and then it didn't last long. But I guess we may be getting more snow this weekend. I don't know. I don't really watch the weather, but my mom mentioned that we may be getting some snow. So we've had a pretty good week. We've had a few health issues. My one little boy has canker sores in his mouth, which has been bothering him. And then oftentimes I have neck pain. And this week it's been a little bit worse than normal. So like I mentioned, I went to the chiropractor yesterday, which usually does help. And then I also have, so my neck curvature goes the wrong way. That's why I have a lot of pain. I was rear-ended when I was in college, and I think that's probably when my pain started. I don't really remember. I actually can't remember not having neck pain. I just feel like I've always had I always have a pain in the neck. Anyway, I have like this neck pillow that I'm supposed to lay on frequently. And of course I don't lay on it as much as I should, but it's shaped, well, let me show you. It's right here. Here it is. So this is my neck pillow that I lay on, and it does really help. It's called Denner Roll. Can you read that? Probably not. Oh, there we go. And I got this from my chiropractor, and it's soft and foamy, but I mean stiff. It's not very soft, but it does have a bit of give to it. So anyway, I just lay it on the back of my neck and lay on the floor, and I'm supposed to lay on it for 15 minutes at least 3 times a week, but of course I don't do it that often. And I should. I probably wouldn't be in so much pain if I would just lay on this thing, but I would so much rather knit. If I could knit and lay on this thing, I would have no problem, but I can't knit when I'm laying on the floor on this thing. So I usually turn on an audiobook and listen to that for 15 minutes. But anyway, if anybody has neck problems, you might want to check out getting one of these, because it really does help when I am consistent in laying on it. But anyway, other than that, we've been doing great. Yeah. Again, I mean, I live a pretty boring life. I mean, we have 5 kids, so it's never boring, but nothing too eventful goes on. So we've been doing good. I think that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please give me a thumbs up. And if you would like to subscribe, I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.